Going to the workshop. I'm so excited. I literally press record and I walk here and I go, what the fuck am I gonna say? We're back. Whole new build. Anyway, we don't need that. Welcome back. Yes, if you've come back from watching the old videos, you're mental, but thanks. If you're new, you will be mental if you come back. I was going to put a different video up this week, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to start the next build because I've got some time next week to actually make the thing or do a fair bit of it. So that's what I'm actually going to do. Got a new camera, so we've got 2 angles. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to make a fabric top guitar in homage to Texas Toast because I learned all about fabric tops from them. It's going to be pink. Oh, baby pink. Not the pink that my wife likes because I've asked her. She likes other pinks, but this is the pink I like. So this is what we're doing. She doesn't play guitar, so bollocks. I've made epoxy guitars, quite a few in the past, put some pictures. And I've made lots of mistakes with epoxy resin because there are lots of mistakes you can make. If you make a guitar body and you glue your fabric to the top and then you make a dam around the side with tape and then it inevitably leaks and it ruins your workbench. So this way we are going to make an epoxy resin cap. Anyone can do this. It's a piece of piss if you do it the right way. So all I'm going to do, we've got a piece of flooring grade ply. It's what they lay down onto crappy floorboards before they lay LVT flooring. Stop smoothing the wood, Paul. Stop smoothing the wood. It's smooth already. I've sanded it off camera. Wow. Onto that, we are going to make a little dam with some wood that I've already chopped up earlier on. So I'll do that now while the camera's rolling because what else are you going to do with your day-to-day? I'm basically gluing wood to wood. That's all we're doing. We have basically made a wooden box. It is 6mm ply, and onto that we've just glued some buttons so epoxy resin cannot escape. Now all I'm going to do is put a bit in the corners just to make sure we are sealed. That's that. Now for the grand reveal. We are making a pink fabric top guitar. So I have pre-cut a lovely bit of pink fabric, which is basically going to get glued in there like that. That is going to be the top of our guitar, and I have cut that. I pre-cut it thinking I was being all clever, and it's too big. I'm not going to show you what else is going to go on. You can wait till next week for that. Baby pink fabric. So all I'm going to do for now is PVA that to the wood. That is stage 1. So for that you have to use white glue. Sorry, Type Bond, which all guitar builders love. And we have to use standard Evo stick. So just making sure we are dust free at all times. And then on goes a bit of glue. We use a scraper. Oh, that does an amazing job. There you go. Okay, so that's what we've got. We've got our panel. I'm going to come back to this tomorrow. New t-shirt, new me, and this should be ready to go. Cabinet scraper, PVA, and we are done. Make sure you clean your equipment, folks.
The next day.
Where were we? This is where we were. We have done our panel. I've got a teeny tiny, what looks like an air bubble in there. But that's not going to matter because that's where the neck pocket's going to go. Whew! Technical! You can begin to see what we're making now. That's all glued on, still very pink. Next phase, bit of epoxy. Haven't even read it.
An annual meeting of
Mix equal volume, 1 and 1. So from past experience, I know I need about 300 mil. 300 grams. I don't know what that is in ounces. It's an amount of ounces. So in we go with our pot. I meant to bring a new pot today, but didn't bring one. So we're going to go 150. Won't be using the pumpers. Right, bit of conventional pouring. Let's do conventional pouring. Put my scales on. $1.65. Mix it on slow. And that, as they say, is that. Now there's loads of air bubbles in this, and this is really thick epoxy. It's a 24-hour number, and I think this pot might be a bit minging, but we'll give it a try. So I'm literally pouring this on now. I'm looking to spread this out and get about 2 or 3 mil, that's all, on top. We don't want this panel to be too thick. Don't want to affect our tone with too much epoxy. It's horrible stuff. It's horrible. Like me. And I'm mixing this around. I think I might have to mix up some more epoxy. This is a bit bigger panel than normal. Well, I'm pretty confident we're going to need a bit more. So we'll go for another 150. Go for another 200 mils. Now I've got that really bubbly. So we'll wallop it on. I'm going to hit this with a heat gun in a second, which will help it level out a bit. I don't think my bench is amazingly level, so we'll have to have a little look at that. So I'll heat gun it over there, where we can get it nice and level. All I want to do now is not do anything dusty in this workshop until we've got this, most of the bubbles popped, and then a cover over the top of this bad boy so we don't get any crap in it. Right, get the heat gun. I believe the heat gun is located behind the camera. Typical. And it's out. Didn't even whack the camera. What a buy. What a buy. Is this even flat? Well, it's not bad that way. And it's absolutely mullered that way. Stop sniffing, Paul. People don't want to hear your sinuses. There, that is level. So now we're going over here. I'm moving you. Okie dokie, here we go. On goes our board, which should be pretty level. Trusty heat gun. Bit of dirt in there already. Cool, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Very difficult to see the bubbles. Big bit of shit there. When you're working with epoxy, sadly, you've just got to do this. Take your time, have a little look at it. Look at what you're doing. There it goes. Pretty thin coat of epoxy there. But I'm going to cover that up and we'll hit it with the heat gun again shortly. Sorted. Comment time. Comment of the day comes from Mr. Allen 0151. That's 151 Allens. And it sounds like he's expecting more. Mr. Allen says, swearing is not clever. To which I replied, I completely agree, Alan.
Oh, fuck off!
And as if by magic, on Saturday morning, the 11th hour, we've got our grand reveal. I've not looked. I've not looked. So this is what's going to be the top of our guitar. We've got a few bits of shit straight away, but that is it. That is going to be the cap of our guitar. So I'm just going to make sure that is, this new epoxy is supposed to be very fast. That's still quite soft. So if I put this on here, you can see that I'm going to have a lovely little cap. I'm going to chop this out on the bandsaw. Now you can see we've got a lovely panel. How easy is that? How easy is that? Bit of dirt and crap on it, but we're all right with that. Now the epoxy's gone off, you haven't got to worry about getting a bit of dirt on here because it's going to get sanded. You can see that once I put this on, we're going to get right to the edge. I'm just going to draw around that. This is not technical, it's not hard, and all the stress is gone. So that is that. And also, I'm wondering, and we have got enough to do a matching headstock if we want. All right, I should be looking at the camera, sorry. I should be looking at the camera. So we'll keep that piece. I'll chop this bit out. I'm not going to film it because that's boring. Okay, so that's the quickest, roughest chop out you can possibly imagine. Now you can see, that's it. I've taught you, I've learnt you how to make an epoxy cap for a guitar. So now when we make a guitar body, what have I got here? What have I got? Whoa! And just a little sneak preview of what is coming up. This is the body for that. This is the next series. It's going to be delightful. It was a toss-up between this and walnut. I couldn't make my mind up. Tiger wood. Oh, yummage. So we're going to cut our body out of this bad boy. That is just wide enough. So we might have to make some alterations to this as we go along, because this timber is just not quite big enough for this big fat boy body. Fat boy.
That's nice.
But, because our centre line's got to be right, so you can see when I chop this little nugget of love out, when I chop this body out and we make it all semi-hollow, and because this weighs, it's like I've been training with that in the garage gym. That is crazy. Once we hollow that out, and this will just get glued on top as our cap, and then it gets a lovely bit of binding, all right? That's all you're getting on this video, that is it. How to make a cap, fabric under epoxy, flawless, no stress. We haven't got to build the guitar, we haven't got to do it all after and fuck it up and get a mess everywhere. That is it. You can make these, you can make them like they're going out of fashion, all right? That's easy. You can get epoxy resin, 500 mils from eBay for 20 quid. Get yourself some fabric on eBay, make sure it's normal fabric, bit of white PVA, and that is it. You can make these. Your guitar can look however you want it to look, all right? Whoo! Beautiful, all right? That's all you're getting. Come back next week because I'm going to start building this behemoth of a beaut, all right? A behemoth of a beaut. It's going to look phenomenal. This is going to be the classiest, dirtiest little number that I've built for a long time. Instagram might explode. It probably won't. It probably won't. But anyway, thanks guys. Always a pleasure. And two ladies, if you are a lady, comment, because I'd like to know if I've got ladies watching. YouTube says there's none, but I'm sure that's a generalization. And there you go. All right. All the best. Eyes and ears.